before I totally forget, because I'm trying really hard to, hone in on the ADD. But what I wanted to make sure is that when Ryan got diagnosed, I genuinely, as soon as I could read up, before we even knew what kind of muscular dystrophy he had, I saw that prednisone was helping people with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and I didn't know what kind of muscular dystrophy Ryan had, and I wasn't educated enough to know that they weren't all the same. And I went to his doctor and said, I want him on prednisone, like start him right now. And thank God that doctor said to me, whoa, let's calm down for a second, Valerie. We don't know what we're up against yet. Let's not do anything that could harm his chances at cures or treatments that are down the road. So he cooled my britches long enough for me to kind of get my bearing, for us to, and we had to wait for his limb-girdle diagnosis. However, in hindsight, I'm just grateful that along the way, when I was really ready to take action in my son's health and advocate for whatever seemed to be cutting edge or working, I'm glad that there was somewhere along the way these natural pauses that allowed me not to over course correct on Ryan. And so at somewhere along the journey, I made it a point to just make sure that whatever I did, I kind of kept in the back of my mind, is this conservative enough to not affect, future treatments? Because that was key. Okay, now this is the part that I'm really excited about. And this is something I guess I really, I really didn't expect to be sharing or thinking about today, but it all kind of came together. So it's this bar right here, okay? This little nutrition bar. Something I'm taking, and as part of my wellness journey, I've been educating myself on the products, and of course, Ryan and I take similar supplements. I've shared with that, but I'm going to talk specifically about Access Technology and why I think that this is an exciting day, at least something that has me excited. And basically, it all started over 20 years ago with ground squirrels in Alberta, Canada, if you can believe that. A scientist by the name of Dr. Larry Wong was intrigued that ground squirrels could hibernate for 6 to 8 months without eating or drinking. They just fattened up, tapped into their fat on demand, and were able to emerge after hibernating slender, and that they could survive. And so this technology was not born because he wanted to create the latest greatest fitness fad, or some great latest and greatest athlete performance type thing. But ironically, I think that it can have a tremendous effect on our kiddos, most specifically mine, but I'm hoping that you guys will also see the benefits as well. So let's talk a little bit. We're going to go to the whiteboard. Hold on. Okay, so again, sorry for the glare. I already talked about the blood work and my health and how to use caution with high dose, any kind of high dose treatments. Okay, Access Technology. Sorry, you'd think I would be better prepared, but I'm not. Okay, so really quickly, Access Technology, it starts here with adenosine. Adenosine is a hormone, which is our natural fat guard, and it slows the ability to burn fat. But more importantly, as I was reading up on it, it triggers muscle weakness and fatigue. So adenosine is our body's natural response when we go to work out, and typically any of us who are thinking about this Access product initially are looking at it from an endurance type or an athlete or a weight loss type thing, but I started to look at it from an MD mom perspective. And as I was researching, and I thought, well, wait a minute, hold the phone. So this hormone, adenosine, when we go to work out or, are doing physical activities, adenosine is triggered and it latches on to several things. It latches on to our fat cells, it latches on to our fiber, our muscle fiber, and it latches on to our nerve cells. Okay, so Dr. Wang's work was, even though other scientists were aware of adenosine, it was Dr. Wang's 20-year, 18-year work on adenosine and the access technology that was really a milestone on adenosine's effect on metabolism, on fat utilization, and on muscle recruitment. So when I started to look at could this access bar help our children in some way? And I kept thinking back to our kids and how, I think it was Chloe who was saying that, her son was participating in all these outdoor kind of Olympic games and had like the greatest time of his life. And of course, we've all shared it. A high activity day where our kids feel the most normal are the days, the days that follow are their worst days. And so lots of fatigue, lots of soreness. So let's go back to what happens with adenosine. So when the adenosine hormone, the body's natural fat guard is triggered, it latches onto fat cells, it latches onto nerve cells and muscle fiber. So from the weight loss perspective and from an energy perspective, when it latches onto fat cells, it's going to decrease our ability to tap into fat for energy. And ideally, so that means that we're going to be burning sugar, like our glucose and our muscle first. But this is intriguing, and I didn't, I've read this a few times and it just didn't click until today. It also attaches to muscle fibers. So when it attaches to the muscle fibers, just the simple act of doing anything, it makes it harder. So all activity is harder. Now that might not mean a whole lot to you or an I, but of course for our children, that's a tremendous difference. And then finally, the fact that it latches onto nerve cells. It minimizes the transmission to nerve cells. And what I saw today and just kind of jumped out at me was it means that it's going to interrupt the signal to some of our muscle fibers. And so instead of using 100 muscle fibers to do an activity, it's going to use like 75 or less. So as you can see, the adenosine hormone, blocking it from actually activating could potentially have a great effect on our kids. So what it is designed to do is to help minimize like the soreness and the fatigue. So I think, and this is the path ahead for Ryan, is when Ryan has a shift at GameStop or is planning on doing some activity with the family we're going to the shore next month. I know that another mom is going to try it. Her daughter's going to be doing cheerleading camp. And so I have every reason to believe that if we stop if this product, which is patented in 10 countries, if this product has been proven to shut off the hormone adenosine for 2 hours. So you take it on an empty stomach and you do your workout. Or in our children's case, they just go about their day or start their day. But if you were to take this access bar on an empty stomach 15 minutes before activity for the next 2 hours, the hormone adenosine is going to be blocked from wrapping around the fat cells and protecting it, as nature intended, because, we always have that fight or flight. We know that historically, our bodies were designed to have feast and famine kind of situations, but in this day and age, there's no shortage of food. So, but if we can block the adenosine for 2 hours and then our children go about their activity, then it should prevent it from, number one, latching onto the nerve cells, latching onto the muscle fibers, also latching onto the fat cells, which means even though our kids are probably, not that they have a tremendous amount of excess weight, but isn't it ideal if when our body has to pick the order of where it's going to get its energy from, if it picks the least damaging piece from our children to tap into first. So at any rate, I'm pretty excited. I think that, access bars is absolutely going to be a staple for, Ryan's daily regimen. There's also a couple other products that I'm going to share as well. Real quickly, there's, and I'm not going to go into the science behind these, but these are two little powder drink mixes that I, again, am using personally, coming from the same nutritional supplement line. One is called Replenix Extra Strength. The other is called Sustain. And Sustain is basically like a Gatorade alternative. It basically contains electrolytes, and the intent is to minimize like tissue breakdown. And then the Replenix is an extra strength product that helps with the muscle overexertion. So again, I just feel like there's hope today, and I'm happy to share more information if you have any questions, and just let me know. You know how to find me. Anyway, I wish you all the best, and of course, I pray every day for the cure that I believe is just around the corner. But in the meantime, let's just do what we can to keep our kids mobile, healthy, and happy. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.